Transcendent Shitstorm. Transcendent Shitstorm. There's more.
Since it's not really a competition, I'm actually just going to take a nap right here. So the other night, I was scrolling through Facebook, you know, reading frightening headline after frightening headline, and luckily I was interrupted by a phone call from a friend. And she needed some advice. She knew I had overcome a fear, a pretty bad fear of flying. Actually, this is what it used to look like for me. Will you hold my hand? Thank you. So back on this phone call with my friend, I told her, yeah, I overcame my fear of flying because I overcame my fear of dying. And she got off the phone with me quickly and she said, Liz, that is horrible, horrible advice. Totally useless. So since she was in a rush to pack, I couldn't tell her the whole story. I'm going to tell you now. So I had a very transcendent moment during a flight where I was flying alone. It was a rainstorm on a typical flight from San Francisco to Seattle, except it was lonely, and the seats were empty. It was a very quiet flight, no one to hold my hand. And suddenly, this jolt shook the plane, and then we dropped, and I was ducked. Whoa! We're going down! And in that moment, I realized I had to just be with myself. I couldn't run to the fridge. I couldn't get a drink. I guess I could have cursed the pilots. You know, what freaking school did this moron go to? But you know, we were all going to die on the plane, so that was pretty useless. Any of the normal coping mechanisms that we use on a day-to-day basis, I didn't have. This was like the alcoholic hitting rock bottom. It was me, my fear, and this experience of me and my imminent death. But interestingly enough, when I showed up for myself because I had no other option, this wave of calm came over me. And I realized that if these were my last moments living, I certainly didn't want to feel panicked and terrified during them. I started to feel this wave of gratitude for my parents, who I didn't always get along with, but I had actually managed to create pretty good relationships with them. And that was a huge deal for me. I thought about how much I love my siblings. I have 3. And I got filled with this kind of sense of peace and calm. And I felt like even if I die this very painful death, I know I'm going to be okay. I'll die, whatever, but I will be okay. Rainbows. On November 9th, we boarded a plane. A plane flying through a turbulent shitstorm. And we've all come face to face with a lot of fear and anger, a lot of scary emotions and feelings have come up for us. Now, I was thinking originally that it's really about a bad situation that makes us learn about ourselves, and I think that's true. But originally I was thinking this bad situation has to be so bad that it kind of wakes us up to be present with ourselves, that there's nowhere else to hide, just like I was there on the plane. But then I realized it's actually not about how bad the situation is, it's about how sensitive we are. We can calibrate ourselves to be more sensitive to the situations that are coming at us. We can be there for ourselves, we can develop a richer inner experience so that we know, so that we can open ourselves up to a transcendent moment. I invite you to use this time to be there for yourself, to see what comes up, to be quiet, to not turn to the fridge, to not turn to drinks, to not turn to arguing, and to see what comes up for yourself. I invite you to use this time in our political climate as a transcendent shitstorm. Thank you.
Thank you, Liz, for that wonderful speech. On your seat, there's a quarter sheet of paper. That's an opportunity for everyone to provide some constructive feedback back to Liz. Okay, Christina, can you give us a minute, please?